So, did you see it? Here is a contrast and exposure enhanced version of the same clip showing some sort of camouflaged machine, is the best word I can use to describe it, caught in the skies over the town of Fraser, Tennessee. Now, Fraser is a neighborhood right on the outskirts of Memphis, Tennessee, and I was sent an email, and this was captured on March 28th, 2016, so recently. And we got this amazing footage, and when I told you guys I had something mind-bending, I meant it. And my jaw dropped. And at first, when I was emailed this footage from the source, Mr. Schneider, I won't say his first name because he requested that I not use his full name. However, the source stated that for days straight, he had been hearing some very strange sounds, loud booming sounds in the sky that he couldn't explain. He went out on multiple occasions, looking around, looking up to the sky, searching on the internet, and not seeing or finding a thing. It was almost as if these were phantom sounds. And we've talked about this before, where these sounds, these unidentified sounds that people have been hearing all over the world, these loud booms, these loud screeching sounds that seem to come from nowhere. They've been featured in the mainstream news even, but more like a laughable topic, as the mainstream news usually claims that these types of videos and our research into the UFO phenomenon is. They think it's a laughing stock, and that's the only time you'll really see footage or UFO-related stories in the mainstream media. And I personally believe it's all part of the government's plan. They control the mainstream media, hence they control what they talk about in terms of UFO activity. So I got this amazing footage, and when I first looked at it, I didn't see a damn thing. I basically saw the clouds, I saw the trees blowing, I saw what looked like a few bugs or birds fly by during the footage, but I was looking really, really hard, and I couldn't see anything. And I emailed back the source, and I told him, I'm not seeing anything. Is there a frame of reference that I should be looking for? And he said, look closer. He said that I heard these mysterious sounds, and he then went outside and was looking up in the sky, basically in all directions, trying to see anything that was there. And he said that he had an eerie feeling that there was something above him in the skies. Once again, another piece of testimony that relates to hundreds of these other sightings where these people have heard things and felt as if there was something massive moving in the skies directly above them that they could not see. And he said if you look really close, and he saw this even better with his naked eye, he said that he saw for a moment, only for a split moment, what appeared to be a massive, again, machine-like structure moving in the sky, possibly still, that for only a moment broke through the clouds. It was a very overcast, cloudy day, heading toward night. As you can see, the image of the video, definitely, especially on a cell phone, begins degrading as the sun goes down and it's getting darker. And you will see, as you've already seen, a massive structure. I can't even describe it. Sitting up in the clouds, looking to be almost cloaked or see-through, as if it were made of glass or had some sort of invisibility cloak around it, to where it only became visible for a few moments, almost as if the clouds going over it and around it are what brought out the shape of the machine. And that's the only reason we were even able to see it this time. And that's what I believe we are seeing. We are seeing an outline of a machine that is invisible to our eyes and our cameras, only brought out due to the varying cloud cover that allows it to become visible momentarily. Now, here are some still frames that the source took after he took the video with his cell phone to see what he could get. And at this point, he didn't even know if he had recorded it. He said that he recorded for a few seconds with his cell phone to see if it would show up later in the video with some analysis. And he went back inside and grabbed his DSLR camera, which gives us much clearer pictures of this structure. He went in and got it, came back outside, pointed it to virtually the same area where he had thought he had seen it, or at least where the sound was coming from. And he snapped about 10 images. Now, he sent us those 10 images. And those images you are seeing here, they are much clearer. And there were 4 select images out of those 10 that we chose to put in this video where you can actually see the outline, or whatever this is, of this massive machine caught up in the sky. And he also mentions, and you can actually see this throughout the video footage, that visible to him, not covered up in the clouds, were 3 or 4 of these small black UFOs that were surrounding the structure. And you'll be able to see those standing still or moving slightly with the craft when it becomes visible. Now, I don't know if these are little drone ships, and I'm not being funny here, I'm not trying to be, but there is a whole range of UFO activity. We have this large ship, and then visible on camera, much better, are these very small, faint black objects that are in the sky as well. And we are going through the images one by one, and we will point out where the piece of the structure is so you can see it, and then we will show you the contrast versions of those same images that are really going to blow your mind. So here are the contrasted images, and what we have done is we have loaded the images into Photoshop. We have increased the contrast, lowered the brightness, increased the exposure, messed with the gamma to the point where we could darken the sky enough and increase the contrast enough to bring out this structure. And as you're seeing in the images here, we will show you one by one, this really brings it home. And to be honest, it's kind of freaking me. I mean, it's scary when you think about it. We have these things patrolling our skies. I am telling you, I have told you in past videos. For instance, if you remember, last year, there were 2 other videos that we had been sent where people had captured what they thought were objects hidden in the sky, hidden in plain sight. The first was captured over Chicago in an image that was sent to us. You're seeing that image here. It was a dark night, completely pitch black out. And again, the source felt as if there was something there in the sky. And once the brightness and contrast was adjusted, we found there to be a massive triangular-shaped object in the sky, extremely too close for comfort for the source who took the image, let's put it that way. And here is a second picture that source took, showing an even better version of the craft over his home, where you can actually see some glowing lights on the craft. And to me, this one did not look human. This looked like something else. And again, hidden in the sky. Some of these objects go around at night because they blend in with the dark. There is no need for them to use cloaking technology. And again, some of them have this technology to stay hidden by some means during the daylight. And this was simply an amazing piece of footage out of Chicago. Then we got another piece of video footage that you're seeing here. This time, as a matter of fact, was captured in Knoxville, Tennessee on September 20th, 2015. And what you're seeing now is the raw footage, unedited, no contrast enhanced. The man felt that there was a craft in the sky above the tree line, and he was right. So you can see in this image here, in this video footage, we see some light blinking, very quick light blinking. And as we did in the other video, with some brightness and exposure enhancement, we see another one of these triangular-shaped crafts come to life, sitting in the sky, not moving, with some sort of lights appearing around it before it begins moving to the right and basically out of sight, as you are seeing in the footage here. And if I recall correctly, this footage was captured on or around midnight, once again in Tennessee. And again, I'm telling you, these things are out there. I mean, look at this. Look for yourself. Now, this one does not look like the same triangular craft from the Chicago footage, nonetheless. It's a craft. It's massive. It's sitting stationary in the sky. And back to our original footage and the topic of today's video. We have this amazing, groundbreaking footage, and I sincerely hope you share this and keep your cameras ready for the next time you hear these odd sounds in the sky, because you never know what is directly above you, hiding in plain sight. Now, could this be a secret government craft? I don't know. I mean, look at this thing. Let's take a look at this from one of our best images sent in to us of this craft with the contrast and brightness enhancement to where we can see as much of this craft or giant machine as possible. And as you see, this does not look like anything our government would create. It looks to have some sort of rings in the back, what look like solid rings that come down at the bottom and almost look like they wrap around, and then more towards the front of the object. It forms a completely different shape, and there seems to be pieces of the craft that come back in, like these large divots and holes in the craft, almost like arms that are coming out. And this thing would have to be massive enough to generate such an eerie, loud sound that the source stated just sounded like a loud machinery-type reverberation through the skies that he had heard in different parts of town. He had said that he went to visit family the week before, about 50 miles from where this footage was taken. And again, he said when he went out to smoke a cigarette at about 10 o'clock at night, he heard the same sounds echoing through the skies, and it frightened him. And he went inside, put out his cigarette. So, this is some earth-shaking footage. It's amazing. And I want to thank the source for sending it in. It scared him to death, honestly. It scared him, and it continues to scare him. And I don't blame him. There are things we are not being told, people. There are things out there in our skies, believe it or not. And if you don't believe it, you're a fool. And I highly believe that it's because you don't want to believe it, because it does scare you to think that these things are out there. But we're safe. I think that if there was an alien presence that wanted to hurt us, we would be gone a long time ago. But again, you may tell your friends in your public life, you may never bring it up, you may say it's all hogwash. But in your heart of hearts, when you're sitting alone at night watching these videos, and you know that you've seen something yourself, or you've talked to someone who's seen something, deep down you know what I'm saying is truth. And it has been truth since the 1930s and 40s when people first started talking about these objects, and way before that. So, again, let me know what you guys think. It's some amazing footage. Be sure to share it. Get it out there. Let's see if we can get more of it. And next time you hear something odd and have that feeling that you might not be alone, you may very well not be. So bust out your camera and get ready, and keep Secure Team on speed dial, because I'll be here ready to post it up. So let me know what you guys think. Thanks for stopping by. The links to the other two videos I just showed you earlier from Chicago and Knoxville, Tennessee, I will put the link to those down in the video description. So thanks for watching. Thanks to the source. Very interesting and mysterious times we're living in. Check back soon. Stay safe, guys.